Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Outliers YouTube channel and our Get to Know series. I'm DP Lyle, and I'm here with my cohort in crime, Kathleen Antrim.
Emphasis on crime. I'm Kathleen Antrim, and today we've got a big surprise for you. We've got Mark Blomsteel. He is an amazing guy, award-winning singer-songwriter. He comes to us from the Netherlands and now living in Nashville. Is that right, Mark?
Yes, the only thing that wasn't right was my name, which is Blomsteel instead of Bloomsteel. But
Blomsteel. I'm so
I hear
sorry.
that all the time.
Do
Yeah.
you? Okay. But it's good to know. I appreciate that. Blomsteel. Very, very good.
Yes.
So I want to talk to you. I always ask this of authors as well. A little bit about your childhood. And I've noticed a pattern with creatives that their childhoods often impact and influence what they become later in life. So do you feel that your childhood has impacted you and did lead you to become a singer-songwriter? And tell us about that.
Yes, I do believe so. I was born with a genetic eye disease, and which made me struggle through my whole life. I mean, I can't drive a car or anything like that, but especially early on, you're an easy target for bullying, and I had a lot of that happening to me. I was pretty strong, but at the end of the day, that still shapes you as a person. It makes you kind of like, it made me sit in my room a lot by myself, and I started writing songs when I was 11 years old. So yeah, that kind of like grew into my career as it is now.
Oh my gosh. So you started writing songs at 11 years old. So like, were you playing the guitar? Were you taking music lessons? What were you doing that was, or did you just self-taught?
Everything I did was self-taught. I used to just start with lyrics and melodies, sing the melodies in my head, sing out loud in my house. I had a big brother that always told me to shut up, so that kind of like didn't boost my confidence a lot. So it took me too long to figure out that I actually was talented.
Oh, wow. So when did you start thinking you might be able to do this for a living?
Um, Well, I mean, I wanted to do college first. So what I did was I tried, to do the thing. My dad was a teacher and a principal, so I was like, I'll follow him in his footsteps and see where that would go. But that was something that wasn't for me. So I quit that after 2.5 years and started studying media entertainment management. And that's when I started working at MTV in the Netherlands. I started having my own radio show. Was basically, again, teaching myself everything about the music industry. So I know a little bit about everything. And during that time at my college, there was an English producer by the name of Paul Williams, and he used to work with the Spice Girls, for example, and some boy bands back in Europe. And one of the songs I wrote was used as a project for that college thing, and he was the one producing it. And he was like, man, you're insanely talented. This is going to be huge. And he called it, it's going to be a banger. If he thought it was going to be a hit song.
Yeah.
So, but the unfortunate thing was he mixed the song and he passed away of a heart attack a day later.
Oh,
And
no.
that was my main,
Wow.
you hear people always say you get one chance, one big opportunity to make it in the music industry.
Mhm.
And that for me, I thought was it. So something happened in my confidence, after that, and it was tough. But we posted the song on MySpace.com,
Mhm.
and it blew up over there.
Oh,
So all of a
that's great.
sudden, I was the #1 singer-songwriter on MySpace.com, which led me to Nashville.
Wow. Okay, so take us through that. How did you end up in Nashville? How did you make? That's a big move. That's a big
Yes.
life change.
Yes. Well, I after college, I started working for a local TV station, and I had my own sports show. I was a producer of a sports show.
Mhm.
Um, but the big boss of the station had some problems with the IRS. So
Oh,
at one point, we showed up for work, and everything was gone. All the computers and everything was gone.
now, was that in the
Um,
Netherlands or was that here?
yes, that was in the
Okay.
Netherlands.
Okay.
So that led to everyone from that station having to find new jobs in the same kind of, field. So that was the same time when I was contacted by a producer that was the producer and manager of the Beach Boys.
Oh, wow.
And he contacted me. He said, I have a studio in Nashville. I would love to work with you. And that kind of was like, the perfect timing for me because I didn't have a job anymore. And I was like, I got some savings. Let's just see what happens. So, and at first I thought he wasn't serious at all. But, I checked it out, and you come into a studio where, I've still worked there, right now. And it's a studio where Jason Aldean records all his platinum records. Johnny Cash, Dolly Parton recorded there as well. So that's just a step that I took, and I never looked back.
Well, you are certainly in good company. Wow, that's fantastic.
Yes, for sure.
Well, going back to the beginning, when you were writing these songs when you were 11 years old, were you into country music then, or were you into something else and it evolved into the country world, or what kind of music were you doing?
It's a good question. It's a good question because country music was not big in Europe and in the Netherlands. And if country music was popular, it would be line dancing. So you have people dressed up as cowboys, Indians, line dancing, that kind of stuff. And it was kind of one of the things that my parents, like kind of as a joke, decided to do that one time. And all my friends kind of made fun of me because it was just one of those things. You don't do that, it's not cool at all. So country music, it became more popular now. It has a huge scene with the new country in Europe, and they do huge concerts as well. But when I grew up, it was not that. My dad was into CCR, which is the country influences I got. Then I discovered Rascal Flatts and Keith Urban when I first started, listening and gaining more interest in country music. So that's kind of how I got into it. So, because the first time I got into the studio in Nashville, I knew exactly which songwriters I wanted my songs to write. Because I like the story-driven stuff, and that's what turned me on to country music.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask. When you're getting ready to write a song, where does the idea come from? And is it like a little riff in your head? Is it like a rhythm in your head? Is it like lyrics in your head? Where does it usually start, and then you glom on all the other parts to make it a song?
It depends, really. It always is different.
All of that.
Sometimes you have a melody in your head and you start kind of like humming it in your head, or humming it into your phone, and then the humming turns into words afterwards. And sometimes you just have a topic and you think, like, I need to write a song about this right now. So yeah, it really depends.
Wow, I find that so fascinating. And throughout the years, you've been nominated and won so many awards. So tell us a little bit about some of the awards you won in the Netherlands, and then what's been going on here.
I've won 5 Dutch CMA awards, so that's huge. And I'm very proud of those. That's what I used to do. I would record my music in the US in Nashville and then take it back to Europe and started touring Europe, go to Switzerland, Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, stuff like that. So that became quite popular. I won the 5 awards. And then all of a sudden the CMA in the Netherlands stopped because they couldn't find a new president. So they don't exist anymore, which is kind of strange. But the awards that I was nominated for last year, for example, in the US, was the Josie Awards, which was really cool because it was at the Grand Ole Opry. So I got to go there and witness it, which was a great experience. The Grand Ole Opry is a great place as it is. I was, through my producer, I was backstage one time, and you meet people like Kevin Costner backstage. It's the funniest thing. And right now, I think this year we've been nominated for a ton of awards. It's crazy. We're going to Texas for the Texas Music Awards, and we're going to Atlanta for the ISSA Awards, the Songwriting Awards. So it's going to be a big year. And last year was big as it is, with my song Tennessee blowing up out of nowhere. I had this huge billboard in downtown Nashville, which is something that's so surreal to me, and I'm very proud of. So
Oh
we're
my gosh,
just
I wish you
building.
were there. I'd love to see it. That's so cool. You'll have to take a
Yeah,
picture and send it to us.
yeah,
That
sure.
is, I mean, that's such a big deal. I mean, it's like, you know, you'll have to send us a picture too when you end up on the billboard in Times Square, New York, too, because you know that's.
Oh yeah, well that would be a dream come true. But I mean, you know, to drive up in downtown Nashville and to see yourself on a billboard. I mean, you know, I'm just like a simple guy from Rotterdam in the Netherlands, and to have that, you know, it's a huge accomplishment.
And getting to do what you love and then getting
Yes,
acknowledged for what you love is really such a blessing. I mean, that's just remarkable. Talk to us a
yes.
little bit about some. You've been nominated for multiple awards
Mhm.
in Texas. So, what are some of those awards? I know you often get nominated for Artist of the Year. I mean, that's a big deal.
That's a pretty big one. Yes, I mean, and I think the award show in Texas is one where they basically scout all the artists and nominate several of them. I think it's a 30 in total, and then you go there for a week or so and compete for the actual awards, which is kind of
Oh,
interesting. It's kind of
wow.
yeah, it's kind of a contest type of
Mhm.
thing. So, but it's a big deal and it's very well respected. So I'm excited to be part of that.
Oh, no doubt. That is very exciting.
Yes.
So, and let's talk now about you have, is it 4 albums out?
Oof, I lost count. It
Within
might
that,
have been five. It might have
might
been
be
five.
5.
Yeah.
I know there's quite a few. And let's talk about your most recent one. And I'd like to know what the inspiration was for this album. It seems to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, because as far as songwriting, this is pretty much new to me, but it seems
Mhm.
like albums kind of have a story in and of themselves and a story arc. Every song has as part of that story. Is that how you see an album?
Yeah, I mean these are singles. So this is just one song. It's called "Making Love." We released 2 singles so far this year, which was "Everything You Do Does It For Me," which we created a really fun music video for as well.
I've
And
seen
and
it.
then
It's
there's "Making
great.
Love." Yeah, and then like
I
I said,
highly
there's "Making
recommend
Love."
it.
Yeah, "Making Love" was a release for Valentine's Day. It's just a perfect love song. You know, if it's kind of like, you know, everybody wants that perfect love story, and you know,
Mhm.
if you don't have it, you wish you had it, and then that's kind of what the song is about. And that's why I like the story-driven stuff so much. I
So
mean, it's one of those things where, you know, I love to move people and make people think when they listen to your music. And like there's an example for this morning, and it's a sad thing, but it was recently where I was contacted by one of my fans, and she said, "Are you okay if I use your song 'Someone Somewhere' tonight at my funeral service?" She just got diagnosed with terminal bone
oh,
cancer,
Oh,
and so this morning I actually found out she passed away. But you know,
so
it's
sad.
moments like that when you realize that you touch people's heart with your music, and that's what I love about doing what I'm doing, you know, with music. People love, you know, these songs, and then they have a certain memory about every song, and you know, and that's why I don't like to talk about songwriting as much either, because everybody creates their own vision and creates their own story with the song. It's not just about me or about the subject of the song. So it's like people are like, "What's the song about?" or "Who's it for?" or whatnot. You know, you hear that all the time, and I'm
And so
like,
to you, it's like,
make
well,
your own. Yeah,
yeah,
make your own
what
story.
does it mean to you? Each individual,
Yes,
yeah.
I think that's very important.
You know,
Yeah,
Doug
because
and I
the
both
moment,
write.
the moment I will tell you what the song is about, it won't be about what you think it is about anymore.
Right, right. And
Yeah,
then it will lose something because Doug and I write books, right? So we
yeah,
write thrillers. And we always say that every person who reads the book reads a different book because when
yep,
you're reading, you have your own, movie going on in your head.
yes,
But when it's on the screen, everybody who watches a movie watches the same movie because it's all being fed to you.
yep, that's
So
true.
really get that. And I think that's lovely that you try to stay away from defining it for others so that they can enjoy it in their own way.
Yeah, I
so
mean,
what are
it's
you
just
working on
like,
now?
what am I working on right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have several during the pandemic, we did a lot of recordings, so we have a lot of singles still waiting to be released. We're doing like right now, actually, I am rehearsing for next week in Nashville is CRS week, which is the country radio seminars where all the radio people come to Nashville and want to watch people and artists play and want interviews and just the connection. It's like a thank you for all the people that play your songs. So we're doing 2 showcases over there for them, which is exciting.
That's very exciting. And I'm sure you do a lot of networking and schmoozing and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be that CRS. I mean, Nashville changed so much over the years. When I first got there, there was CRS, and you would like, get yourself in there somehow, and there was not that much security. But now it's all so tight and so big. It changed so much over the years. I mean, I used to be able to go from one end of town to the other in 10, 15 minutes, and now you're just stuck in traffic all day, every day, all day.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's really growing a lot.
Yep.
So how can people listen to your music? What's the best way they can buy it and listen to it and all of that?
I mean, my music's available everywhere. I mean, I have physical CDs. That's one of my dreams still, to have one of my albums on vinyl, and we're talking about doing that. So
Oh,
that's
that's
something
cool.
that's coming in the near future. But I mean, of course, it's available for streaming everywhere on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, all that good stuff. So and there's my website, my social media. People can find me anywhere. And if they want a physical CD, they can always contact me anytime.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I know that they can watch your videos on YouTube because I've been watching them.
Yeah.
So, okay, I want to make sure I pronounce your last name correctly. Blomsteel.
Blomsteel, yes.
Blomsteel, it's so great to have had you on the show. You're wonderful, and we got to have you back. And we will all be following your career and cheering you on for all these awards. I'm sure there's a lot more in your future. And I'll be looking for that billboard in Times Square someday soon. So
yeah,
everybody go listen to Mark Blomsteel's music. He's fantastic. You're going to enjoy the videos. And in the meantime, if you've enjoyed this interview, please hit the thumbs up. It helps our algorithm to have you like that, and subscribe so we can bring more interviews to you. Again, thanks, Mark. And hopefully we can have you on soon again.
No problem. Looking forward to it.
Thanks, Mark. Greatly appreciate it. It was a fun talk.
All right.
Good to get to know you. Yeah.
Thanks so much. I enjoyed it.